Hello and welcome. Here we are, June 14th. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Hope you guys enjoyed some action. Sorry to all my Colorado faithful. We are down to just the Rockies, and they suck. So sports kind of disappearing here in the Sunshine State. It's all good though, man. I've never seen an MVP get kicked out of an elimination game. That's just, how are they letting those guys bang? I mean, my God, the Bucks-Nets game had a dude get slapped, like forearm. He got cut with the forearm. I don't even know how that's possible, but he got cut in the forearm. In the Nets-Bucks game, no foul. Jokic just got a little pissed off, 7-footer going after a point guard. It's going to look bad anytime a 7-footer is going after like a 6'3" guy, and he swings his arm. But that was just a common foul. I mean, he barely grazed his face. As somebody that's been a referee or an umpire for like 4 sports, I get it. It's hard, I never wanted to kind of pin something on the refs, but way to just deflate everything. Just deflate it. Let it go. I mean, the Nuggets still played a great game after that game. They came back. There was a couple of times it was within 6 points, but that's what makes Chris Paul great. He's becoming that assassin instead of becoming the person that's dishing it off here and there and giving it to the shooter or letting Harden do his thing. CP3 has become the assassin, and that's good. That's what he needs to be. I'm rooting for him. I hope he gets a title. The West, though, congratulations to the Sun. First 4-game sweep of the playoffs, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't understand why they did that to Jokic. That was pretty crappy. Ruined my DFS. I had a great thing going. He had 47 points with 2.5 quarters. It was about to go real, but yeah, I've had a bad week for betting. I've had a bad week for DFS. Those things happen, man, and I'm really, I was really frustrated. I was like, man, do I even feel like doing the show? We got a baby coming in less than 2 weeks. Life is just frustrated, man. That's part of it. But you can do one of two things. You can take a break, get your mantra and get your energy right, and then come back at it, or you can just hammer it out, or you can quit. I'm just not a quitter. I want to quit sometimes, but it's just not who I am. It's when you play sports as long as I did, and you've been on as many crappy teams as I've been on, and you play as much as I've played. You just kind of learn that you have to push past that, and you got to be careful what your thoughts are, because you become your thoughts. That's the metaphor about the seeds, and you're gonna reap what you sow. So if you just fill yourself with negative thoughts and negative actions and self-pity and stuff like that, that's what you're going to harvest. You're going to harvest those results. So you just got to stay positive. You got to be honest with yourself, though. I'm not telling you to be like, oh yeah, man, I did great last week and had the worst week I've ever had. You can't be that person either, because then you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're not allowing yourself to accept the facts, right? The facts are the facts, but you can always change them. But yeah, the Nuggets, they put it up. The Suns are through. I think the Suns are going to win the West. They just play such great defense. And they play with energy. They look like they want to win. Chris Paul, he deserves it, Booker, everybody focuses on Booker shooting, and rightfully so. Great, lights it up, inside the arc, outside the arc, no problems. But he gets a lot of rebounds. He gets a lot of assists. He has an intense pregame workout. The Suns built around him, and between Ayton and Booker, that's what if you nail your top picks, if you get your top picks nailed down, what they did with Booker and Ayton, he took a lot of flack for taking Ayton. I don't know why. Go look at what he did. He made the Jokic look pedestrian at times. That's hard to do. That's the MVP. Ayton made the MVP look pedestrian at times. That should tell you all you need to know about how good that center is, when you make the MVP look pedestrian. All right, Ayton, he's been pulling double-doubles. He's had a foul a lot with Jokic. Jokic is just so subtle. That's, what I've noticed is about that. I don't know what the Nuggets are going to do. I think they realize the importance of Jamal Murray, but the truth is, look at all the teams. The finals, Eastern Conference champion, Western Conference champion last year went out in the first round, right? The team that played the Heat, I can't think of it, but they're out too. And now the Nuggets are out. So everybody that played in the bubble, that played that season, they came back to a shorter season, now they're done, right? It's kind of weird. Say what you want about the bubble. I consider it to be a very difficult championship. I think those that participated on it had to go through a lot of mental battles, and they overcome it. But, you know, human body's the human body, and you can't push it so far. But it's good, though. You know, with the Suns, the Clippers, and the Jazz, somebody's going to win their first title. Think about that. Somebody's going to win, or, you know, somebody's going to have the potential to be on their win their first title. And, you know, the Jazz obviously went back in the 90s to the finals a couple times. The Suns went in the 90s as well. I don't think the Clippers have ever been. I don't even know if they've ever been to a Western Conference final. I'm pretty sure that's correct. So that's kind of interesting. And in the East, you got Atlanta, Philadelphia, the Nets, and the Bucks. Well, let's focus on that for a little bit, guys. Have you been listening to the freaking media? I've been telling you guys now for 3 months, all the Nets, LA Clippers, Clippers, Lakers, Clippers, Lakers, Clippers, Lakers. Oh my goodness, the Nets. Let's quit listening to these guys. They're going to pump up superstars. They have teams that do all their research for them. They have a little bit of insight, but they just don't care. They do not care. Stephen A. Smith, Mitchell's the best Jazz player of all time. The guy that hasn't even played in a Western Conference freaking finals, the best of all time. Get off the gas. I'm getting really tired of this super hypeness coming from the media, man. Do you guys really think the Nets are going to be good? Do you think Kevin Durant's going to be able to carry teams? My God, he had Russell. He had 2 MVPs with him, plus Serge Ibaka, plus Perkins, and they still lost. What makes you think Kevin Durant can carry a fucking team and he's never been able to do it? He's not going to be able to carry the Nets with Kyrie Irving down, with James Harden down, with Blake Griffin down. The Bucks are too good. Quit listening to the media. Oh, don't you ever compare me to Giannis, KD said. Are you serious? Get off the gas, KD. What did you do in OKC? You got one MVP, you had 1 scoring title, and you had probably the best supporting cast around you until you went to the Warriors. You went to a team that already won, a team that already has 3 Hall of Famers, and you won an MVP there. Get off the gas. Quit pumping Kevin Durant so freaking much, man. Yes, he's a great scorer. Yes, you know, he can play all right. He's not good enough to carry a team. Steve Nash is a rookie coach. D'Antoni's style of play has never landed a team in the freaking finals, and it's not going to this year. All right, because when you go offense, you're going to run into the 6 best teams, and they play defense. And when you can't play defense to match their offense, now all of a sudden it's a nil. Why did they lose that game and only score 80 points? Because the Bucks have good defense. Okay, why did they only score 90? Why did they not get past 96 points? You know, and they got a lot of that in the trash time because the Bucks play good defense. They're all big. Lopez is big. Giannis is big. Middleton is big. Holiday plays intensely. All right, you're not just going to cakewalk through the Bucks. I hate to break it to you, but do y'all remember last year Giannis got hurt, and that's the reason they didn't make it? Not because of their talent, because Giannis got hurt. The MVP, the reigning 2-time MVP, got hurt. All right, quit throwing shade just because the media is. All right, I see a lot of it on Twitter. I see a lot of it on the media out there. You know, I'm not scared to call them out. Get Up, Colin Cowherd, you know, some other FS1 shows that, you know, with 2 guys that just debate and are stupid as shit. Yeah, them too. Don't buy into their team of fucking interns that are 19 and don't have a history of the sport, putting all their information up for them. All right? Pay attention to people that watch the sport and have been paying attention to the sport for over a decade. Not people just out there to get a tagline. You know, oh, I got to keep my lifestyle, my money. I better say something ludicrous that'll piss off millions of people and I know I'll get feedback. God, that is ridiculous, man. Look, the Nets aren't going to make it past this series. I bet on the Bucks. I bet on the Bucks last night. And I bet on the Bucks to win the series, and I bet on the Bucks to win the Eastern Conference, all right? The Bucks, and they may not win the Eastern Conference. Doc Rivers is a hell of a coach. Joel Embiid, even though he's hurt, he's putting that narrative to rest, that he can't play hurt, all right? That he's weak, or that, you know, he's hurt right now, and he's still playing. That's the bottom line, all right? So I don't know what the 76ers are going to do. I do fully anticipate them just, you know, kind of steamrolling Atlanta the rest of the way. But I don't know. I think, you know, like I told you guys, if Giannis doesn't at least get to the finals, everything he did is going to be considered a wash. And he doesn't want that. I don't think who knows how long they're going to have this lineup. PJ Tucker, a great addition, man. They lost one of their starters. There's a guy that got cut. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He's been filling in nice. He's been playing aggressive defense. They kind of lost their spot up 3 shooter, but PJ Tucker, as shown last night, I was like, man, his point line's so low. But you go back look at his stats the past 3 games, it was pretty bad. But last night, or yesterday afternoon, he had a great game, and PJ Tucker can do that. So they've built their roster to win a championship. They weren't waiting for next year. They went to go build one this year. You can say the same thing about the Nets. They went all out this year. Let's go get every, quasi-veteran out there and load him up, I don't know what DeAndre Jordan's going to do. Blake Griffin didn't play from like midway through the third on, and he was having a hell of a game. Very injury prone. Kyrie Irving, very injury prone. James Harden, very injury prone. These, that's why I always hark on the most important ability is availability. If you can't, 80% of success is showing up. If you can't show up, and in this case, showing up being putting on your jersey, being one of the 5 guys on the floor for your team, you're not going to do me much good. I can get a rah-rah cheerleader in the stands. I don't need somebody like that just rah-rah on the bench. So take it for what it's worth, but that's my 2 cents on it. KD gets really frustrated. He gets playing his way. KD's one of those people, when everything goes great, everything's lined up, everything's set up for him to succeed, he can succeed. But when the moment there's any strife, they call that adversity in the sport, he does not respond well. He doesn't respond well to criticism. He doesn't respond well to adversity. And he's not good enough he's not LeBron. I don't know why anybody wants to put KD up there with LeBron. Because Kevin Durant couldn't have took those Cleveland squads that LeBron took to the finals. He couldn't win with 2 other MVPs, Serge Ibaka, Perkins, a great coach in Scott Brooks. He's just not all that. And, y'all need to hear that. I'm a truth bringer. Truth bringers aren't very well liked, but they bring the honesty. And that's who I am. Let's just go ahead and look at these basketball games tonight. We got one at 5:40 Mountain Time, so that's going to make it 7:40 over there on the East Coast for all you people. And then spread, 3.5-point spread for the 76ers. We got an over-under of 225.5. That's pretty high. Should probably be about right. On the money line, we got the 76ers at -159. We got the Hawks at +132. I think the 76ers should win that game. I really do. And then coming up in the night game, 8:10 Mountain Time. That's 10:10 on the East Coast. 5-point spread for the Clippers. 224 points on the over/under. -210 for the Clippers. Bookie's feeling really good about this one. They were feeling pretty good about the Nets yesterday too, though, I'll tell you that. +170 for the Utah Jazz. And it's just interesting to me. I want Utah. I like small market teams. Utah has one professional major sport team. And I'm pouring for them. Phoenix hasn't been in a while. Clippers are okay. it's Kawhi. They've been pumped up all season. I just don't see it. Kawhi, Paul George, they're great. Tyronn Lue is a championship coach. He proved that. He proved how great he was. Because I think the Clippers would have lost that series without Tyronn Lue against the Mavs. He played chess. He did everything he was supposed to, and it come out the way that they anticipated it going. As far as player props, I don't really have a lot right now. Like I said, it's always so early here. Sometimes I don't get them. For the boost right now, there's nothing, just Euro soccer. That's just kind of the way it goes. Let me see if I can get something up. Yeah, not much. First field goal. I don't really bet on that. Yeah, nothing. Double doubles. Here we go. Clint Capella, -143. Joel Embiid, -150. John Collins, 325. Which, what's something weird about Embiid? He doesn't really get a whole lot of rebounds. So take that for what it's worth. Ben Simmons, +180. Trae Young, -112. For the Jazz Clippers, we got Rudy Gobert, -286. Kawhi Leonard, +215. Paul George, +155. He has been a rebounding machine in that Jazz series so far. Let's look at PRA. Real quick, points, rebounds, assists. Seth Curry, 18.5. He doesn't get a lot of assists or rebounds, but it's pretty low. Lou Williams, 9.5. Trae Young's at 40.5. Joel Embiid's at 43.5. John Collins 23.5. Ben Simmons 28.5. Clint Capella is at 24.5. Interesting line right there. He's been getting a lot of rebounds. If he can get 10 points, 12 points, I think he gets over that. Looking at the Jazz Clippers, Donovan Mitchell 39.5. Woo! Bojan Bogdanovic is 23.5. Batum only 16.5. He's been getting a lot of minutes. Take a look at that. Rudy Gobert 27.5. Reggie Jackson 20.5. PG 13 39.5. Kawhi Leonard 41.5. And let's just look at the points to round out the end of the show today. We'll probably get out of here. Called it a little early. Tobias Harris 21.5. Trae Young 27.5. and Embiid 30.5. Ben Simmons 13.5. Negative 120 for Ben Simmons. I might take that under. I don't know. Bohan is at 17.5. Capella's at 11.5 in his points. Makes sense. That's probably why they put that PRA line right where they did. That's about where I saw it. If he gets 12, 14 points, I think he's going to go over his PRA, but that's basically what they're telling you with his points. Marcus Morris, 11.5, almost at evens, negative 105. He's real streaky. He's either on or off, but when he's on, he's going to hit that 11.5, no problem. Paul George, 25.5. Royce O'Neal, 7.5, a guy I've been taking a lot lately. That's just not that much points for a starter. You know, he is a small forward, predominantly focuses on defense. You've also got Zubac at 4.5, very low point total, very achievable. If he can just get 3 putbacks on a rebound, he fouls a lot. They keep him on as a second rotation, so just keep that in mind. Reggie Jackson, he's been really hot, 14.5. All right, guys, you know, that's kind of probably going to about do it for us here today. Remember, send me your lineup questions. I've been getting quite a few. Pretty pumped about that. Hopefully can help you. Yeah, just send me anything you want. Remember, I'm IDP Iggy. We'll be getting back to football soon, guys. Just to let you know. Also, you know, we've been on this Monday, Friday format since the end of the football season. We are going back to 5 days a week in July. I do have a baby boy coming at the end of the month. So thanks. I might miss some shows here soon. It's going to be a little rough. I may not be posting as much. I know you guys like to interact. I appreciate everybody out there from the U.S. all the way to China, Belgium, Russia, Brazil, New Zealand, India. I appreciate everybody listening. However you're listening, man, I really appreciate it. Send me your questions. Like I said, Iggy'sFantasyandBetting.com. You can just look on there. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, man. I'm getting really active on the Facebook Pro Fantasy Football advice page, man. I've been invited. There's about almost 10,000 of y'all. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, we're going to get some good things going, man. The draft kit's coming out soon. We're going to be putting the final touches on that this week. And I just can't wait, man. Enjoy your day. Have a great one out there. And we'll see you guys soon. Here's for y'all. Remember, don't get too frustrated with life. All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful one. And I'll see you Friday. Take care. Peace.